Keefe, I want to update your percentages in a moment on Soto.
Okay.
I just want to react to something that I saw going on in the Twitch chat. There were a bunch of these. They've all scrolled upwards.
Yeah.
But
just a dog pile in there.
Neither you or I like the Aroldis Chapman signing.
No.
Bad guy.
He's 100 years old, bad dude, and decent
great,
money for 1 year.
Not great the last couple of years. I stand by all those things. The money, though, we were called to task for, and this is somewhat fair, I think. We complain about the Red Sox not spending money.
Yes.
And then they sign someone, and we go, that guy stinks. We don't like that signing.
Well, we're not going to like every signing.
Okay, but also we specifically reference that's too much money for this guy. Now, I personally think you can say they didn't really spend. This is a 1 year, $11 million signing, but are we being hypocrites by saying sign, spend, then they sign somebody and spend, and we go, too much money? Is that hypocritical?
So I don't think so. I think, like, every single contract isn't going to be great. See, there's a commitment to the team. Like, a commitment to the team and, like, a long-term commitment is one of these, like, mega deals, which they haven't signed in a long time. I mean, re-signing Devers, sure, but, like, a 12, 13-year deal to Soto or 6+ years, let's say, to, like, Corbin Burns or somebody like that, that is a big-time commitment. They spent more money for Chris Sale to win the Cy Young somewhere else last year than they did on Chapman. We're just saying for a one-off guy who may or may not be your closer, that seems like a lot. And so if that takes away from some of your other big moves, I wouldn't love that.
That's it. Okay, so, I just want them to spend.
I do, yeah.
If they sign Soto and Corbin Burns and then they spend $11 million on Aroldis Chapman, I won't care about the money aspect because they're just spending like crazy.
But, like, to be consistent, like, neither one of us really wanted Blake Snell. So if they won the Blake Snell sweepstakes, I'm not going to be like, yay. I mean, like, really? Is that the best use of your money?
I would have applauded them for at least spending. Right. I wouldn't have liked the signing. I would have nitpicked the signing. I think I would have applauded them for spending.
But you're not going to like every player.
Here's my point. If you have, this really is a criticism of them not spending. If they have $70 million to spend and they're not going to spend into the luxury tax, okay? They have $70 million until they hit the CBT. Is this an indication, number one, they're not going to spend big on Soto or Corbin Burns? They're going to spread it out.
Yeah.
And if you only have $70 million to spend because they refuse to go into the luxury tax, now I need to criticize how you spend it. So I think we're okay there, but I understand the blowback saying they need to spend money and then we criticize the spending.
I also think it's, I don't like the timing. I don't think no Red Sox fan has ever liked Aroldis Chapman.
Right.
Some will convince themselves they do now because he's on the team, and that's what happens, whatever. But he's a bad dude.
The optics of making him first.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, the pipe dreams all come true, and they are major players, and they make trades. They sign either Soto or Burns or whatever, and then also, like, the fifth name is Chapman. You're like, well, that's kind of odd, but whatever. Hey, we still got Soto, and, like, you're still fired up about it. And then, if this guy is mowing down hitters in the 8th and 9th inning, like, people will move on. They're like, oh, whatever. He's good now, and, second chances and all that other stuff. But for him to be, like, the first guy is kind of obnoxious.
Well, and in retrospect, if he's kind of the face of, again, they spend $70 million and they spend it on 5 or 6 different guys, and they're all $10 million players, and Chapman was first, he'll kind of be the face of it.
Yeah.
So we will forget about it if they sign Soto. Fine.
Yeah, we'll forget about everything.
But this does nothing.
We'll forget about all our problems if they sign Soto.
So let's get to Juan Soto, and you guys can react to Aroldis Chapman, that signing, here on a very busy Jones and Keefe on a Tier Tuesday, which we'll do coming up about 10 minutes from now. A Tom E. Tuesday. We'll talk to Tom E. Current at high noon. Mm-hmm. We got a Kiefer Madness scheduled for 12:45, and looks like Brian just dropped off our D'Angelo delivery.
Way to go, Brian.
D'Angelo Tuesday.
He did almost drop it.
So. Did he?
It? Yeah, he almost dropped it when he was opening the door.
Oh, the sounds that would have.
It's all right. Still just as delicious.
Would have embarrassed John Heyman sitting in a diner. The sounds he would have made if that got dropped. That's precious cargo there, Brian.
That's right.
But a D'Angelo Tuesday, it's our lunch spot every Tuesday here on Jones and Keefe. We're very thankful for it. Randy Miller, NJ.com, has kind of dominated a lot of this reporting.
What is it, Randy Miller?
With Juan Soto, Randy Miller. Randy J. Miller.
Randy J. Miller.
NJ.com.
Is Randy short for Randolph?
Probably. Randall?
Oh, Randall.
Yeah.
Or Randolph.
Randolph Childress, Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
Randall J. Miller.
Okay, fine.
He says the Red Sox have emerged as a favorite, maybe the favorite.
A favorite, maybe the favorite?
That's what he said. For Juan Soto.
That's a little wishy-washy.
Apparently, they're trying to sell Juan Soto on him not being the only signing. I hope Chapman
Hey,
isn't
we
one
got
of these
Chapman.
guys.
He's like, okay.
But they're signing Juan Soto on
Hey, we got Chapman.
going out and getting and recruiting another arm or two. Corbin Burns, Max Fried. Get them to sign with you. We'll really upgrade the talent. And you surmised before, maybe that would work for a trade too. Like, why is Juan Soto so interested in the farm system?
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe it's so they can bundle all these prospects to go get another arm like Garrett Crochet or one of the arms in Seattle.
Yeah, I think so.
Logan Gilbert or whatever,
Uh-huh.
right? Red Sox, Mets, Blue Jays all have made offers upwards of $600 million. That's according to Randy Miller. NJ.com. That correlates, by the way, with Hector Gomez, his reporting over the weekend. The Red Sox made a 13-year, $625 million offer to Juan Soto. Keefe, I was 10% last week before we went on Thanksgiving break. You were 0% last week before we went on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
What is the percentage on Juan Soto the Red Sox get? It can't still be zero if
No,
they're
it's
offering
not.
$625.
I've changed.
One?
If the 600, yes, 1%.
Okay, good.
I am now giving them a
that's
1%
progress.
chance.
That's movement.
That's huge movement. That's significant movement,
Yeah.
as they say.
Oh,
I had 0%.
You
and
don't-
I thought I was like, what's the point of even talking about
you
it?
don't need to call my friend Dale with that kind of
Not
movement.
today,
No,
I don't.
No.
Not today. Call me tomorrow, maybe. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of buzz around it. There's a lot of people talking about it. And he hasn't signed anywhere yet. And there's no like removing of teams, or there's not a ton of smoke around even Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays. Like the same teams kind of piling like on top of each other. And it hasn't really gone away. And people are putting their entire careers on the line to suggest that he's going to be with the Red Sox. I would still be shocked. That's why I can't go much north of that. But I think it'd be crazy at this point to say 0%.
Okay, I'll reference another report here. Andy Martino, SNY, don't know his reporting track record.
Throw them all out there. That's fine.
He says there's widespread belief that among the bidders,
Yeah.
you heard the 5 bidders there from John Heyman, Toronto will come in with the highest offer.
It's Canadian money, though.
That's a good
So
point.
let's do the converter.
When you're paid in loonies and toonies,
it's not good enough.
what does that really work out to? So I was at 10%. I thought Keefe outflanked, but Billy
Billy was 25.
Thank you. You
He
were
was the
25%.
first guy. Yeah, Billy.
25.
Okay.
Still
Yeah, where are you now?
higher, lower, same.
30.
Whoa!
30. See, I'm gonna go to like
30%?
I'm gonna go to like 25 where Billy was.
You're at 25%.
Billy still has me outflanked. Yeah,
He
that's
does.
still only 1 out of 4, Keith.
Nick, what do you think?
I kind of wanted to go to
There's
33%.
5 teams. I'm going to go 20%.
So that I want to go a little north of that.
Oh,
because
so
I
I
don't
Give
think,
everybody a fair chance.
Yeah, look at that. Even slice of the pie
okay.
for everybody.
Well, let's go through the contenders to sign him.
Yeah.
Ready? Where do you think he's signing? Well, I guess I know your answer, Keith. It's going to be everywhere else.
New York.
Do you think it's going to be Red Sox or Blue Jays? If it's down to those two teams, who's he choosing? Red Sox or Blue Jays?
The Red Sox out of the Blue Jays. I never
Even-
really bought the Blue Jays. Maybe
if-
it's the Otani thing from last year.
Even if SNY is right, Blue Jays have highest offer.
Yeah.
He's going to Boston.
No, I think he probably goes to whatever the actual highest offer is. As of this moment, maybe the Blue Jays have the highest offer, but Boris and Soto are waiting for one of the New York teams to go north of Toronto. Go north of the Canadian team.
That's Saskatchewan.
Correct. Yeah. They're going to go to the North Pole.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as the Yankees or Mets put pen to paper with here's the offer and it's the highest offer, which it will be. I think the highest offer will come out of New York.
Okay.
One of those two, and that's where he'll go.
But it's Red Sox or Blue Jays, Red Sox for you.
Yes.
Okay. I would say Red Sox. It's Red Sox or Dodgers. Where are you going if you're him? Where do you think he goes?
Dodgers.
I would tend to think
Everybody
Dodgers.
goes to the Dodgers.
I would tend to think
If
Dodgers.
the Dodgers are real serious about it, have the Dodgers missed anybody they wanted?
Good question.
Has there ever been a guy that
I
they
mean,
really wanted and didn't get?
I don't want to say no, but not to my knowledge. Nothing.
Who do they
nothing
want?
Jumps to the front of my mind.
They wanted Otani, got him. They
Got
wanted
him.
Betts, got him.
Yamamoto,
got him.
Snell, got him.
Glasnow. I mean, that was a trade, but they still got him, signed him.
Did you say Freeman? Freeman, got
Freddie
him.
Freeman. If they really, really are serious about it, they'll get him.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame anybody for wanting to go to
Imagine
LA
joining that team.
and a chance to win a championship.
Imagine that lineup.
Yankees or Red Sox?
Yankees.
I would also say Yankees.
But he stays with the Yankees.
Red Sox or Mets?
Mets.
I still think if
So
he's
I
signing,
put him fourth on the list.
if
I
he's
guess I have him
signing
above
somewhere,
Toronto.
But look, it all comes down to I'm with you.
Dollars and cents.
The highest bidder. I
Yeah.
mean, if the Red Sox are willing to outspend New York, well, then I think he would go to Boston. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think the most desperate team and the team most likely to land him is the Mets.
I wonder if the Red Sox, if the money ends up being crazy and kind of similar, then they probably all have to do that. Well, we'll give you an opt out after year 3. And then we got to play this game all over again. And if that's what you got to do, you got to do it.
I am totally fine with that. If that's the game you got to play,
It's kind
totally
of
fine with
obnoxious
that.
to me.
Yeah.
And I know it's baseball. That's the way the contracts work. But after all of this, and who knows when he's actually going to sign? Could be Christmas. Could be middle of January. We have no idea. Could be Valentine's Day.
It sounds like, though, most of the reporting is that this could be done next week.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
and
supposed to be before meetings.
Yeah.
Now it's within the next 10 days.
Yeah.
I think,
And
it
I think
was.
there should be like a push for it, because once he signs, then Corbin Burns can sign, then a number of other players can sign. Teams can actually, the 5 teams that think they're in on it.
Baseball should be pushing hard for this.
Yes, because those 5 teams that we just named are going to be major players, I would imagine, for other guys. And nobody's really willing to make a big swing. Like, Chapman's a 1-year deal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams can do 1-year deals. But who's going to sign another 10-year deal until they know they have Soto or not?
Yeah, the one thing I would try to sell Juan Soto on, and I forget who made this point. I want to say it was Tomasi, but I might be miscrediting. I would try to sell Juan Soto on, if you come to the Red Sox, you are the franchise. You're the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
It's your team. It's not your team if you go to the Dodgers. It's not your team if you go to the Yankees. I guess the Mets and Blue Jays, it could be your team. Lindor was an MVP candidate last year.
True.
I think he would be the face of the Blue Jays.
I don't know if everybody wants that.
Well, I don't know that
Does
either.
Soto want that? Because I don't think Yamamoto wanted that.
I don't know. My answer is I don't know. But if that plays
you
to
do
his-
have that.
If that plays to his ego at all, I would try to play that up. Now you need to couple that with giving him the best offer,
Yeah.
or at least something within shouting distance or equal to whatever the best offer is. But in a tiebreaker scenario, the Mets and Red Sox have the same dollar figure on the table. How do you get him to choose Boston? You're the face of the franchise. You want influence on who we're going to sign. We'll go get player X, Y, and Z. We'll trade away these prospects for player X, Y, and Z. You give him that sort of power and influence, and that to me is a tiebreaker. It's not the reason he would sign here for less money, but that would be a tiebreaker. I would try to play to that if that's something that interests him at all.
One thing they keep playing up, and I don't know if this is just all the internet detectives or if this is reality, is the history of Dominican players with the Red Sox. Which
Yeah, I mean, Eduardo Perez was talking about the food weeks ago.
a lot. Yeah, it's true. The guy was now in Miami, but regardless, he was here at one point. And I understand, like, it is a great history, and Ortiz and Manny and Pedro specifically, and most of that was 20 years ago. But I don't know. There's a lot of great Dominican players around baseball, and like without going through the history of the Yankees, Mets, like can't they make a similar pitch probably with a few of their guys? Even now, like Vlad Guerrero Jr. is in with the Blue Jays right now. Like I feel like that is true. Like you have these 3 like superstar players with Boston, and they were all fan favorites. They were all faces of the team. So that's great. Like you can lean on that, but I don't know how much of a separator that is.
Yeah, I would have that down my list on the pitch.
Yeah.
I would have you're the guy. You're not along for the ride. It's not you and Aaron Judge, it's you. It's not you and a million guys on the Dodgers, it's you.
Do you think he wants to, just to go like a little bit further down, do you think he wants to play right field at Fenway Park? It's not a great right field. It's a hard right field to play.
No,
and he's not a great outfielder.
No, he's not. He was a Gold Glove finalist, but he's
Right.
the metrics are not friendly to him. I saw Harold Reynolds making the case he could play left.
Okay, like
If he-
Manny, kind of just play the wall.
Look,
and
if he wants to play right field, go ahead and play right
yeah,
field.
play whatever you want. You can pitch.
Go ahead and play it in year one. If it's a disaster, then we'll talk about moving you. You don't have to tell him that up front.
Yeah, but I wonder if like that's part of his thing, because you don't want, and listen, I'll take Soto no matter what. I'm not talking about like, where are you going to play him? I'm just saying like you find where he wants to go. I don't know if that's also part of the pitch, but it seems like they already have a team that half the team should just be a DH.
Yeah.
Like Devers should be a DH. Casas should be a DH. They've already said Yoshida can only DH. You're running out of places for some of these guys. And then if Soto comes in, you're like, well, I can play right field a couple years, and then like he needs a DH. So it is sort of an interesting thing they need to figure out.
Yeah. So look, I would lean in on what you want to do.
Yeah, whatever
is
you
what
want to
we're
do.
going to do.
Same.
The idea that the Red Sox, if they can bring in Soto with another arm, that to me feels like the most far-fetched thing. Like
Soto and Burns.
the idea that they're going to sign Soto is such a
That's out there.
it's so out there and so atypical for how they've been acting now. I already have enough trouble extending my disbelief, or what's the word I'm looking for? Just believing in something that feels so far-fetched.
Yeah.
And
A dream.
yeah. Now they're going to do that and a big-ticket pitcher? Like, that just
Seems unlikely, Jones.
doesn't
but
sound right to me, but
I don't know.
maybe
Stranger
it's-
things have happened.
Maybe it's a trade. maybe it's Juan Soto and a trade. Maybe it's not a free agent signing. Because Soto and Burns, I'd love to think the Red Sox are back to that.
Yeah.
But even I can't quite go there. Suspend my disbelief.
Well, it's funny. I was looking at the suspension of disbelief. The top free agents for this year.
Uh-huh.
And to me, it kind of drops off a little bit. So MLB did, like, at the beginning of the offseason, their top 25 free agents.
Yeah.
And Juan Soto's number 1, makes sense.
Chapman, too?
Corbin Burns.
Oh.
Corbin Burns is number 2.
Makes sense.
Number 3 is Sasaki, the 23-year-old from Japan. You're like, all right. Blake Snell's already 4th.
And he's gone.
Already signed with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Add him to the list. Another guy that they wanted, and they got him. Number 5 is Alex Bregman, who we've brought up before coming here, and I think that would be, in addition to another big player, you'd be like, oh, that's great, but he's already the 5th best, at least according to MLB.com, free agent.
Yeah, I like him, I think, certainly
like him
more than
me.
you.
Yeah. I just think he's getting kind of towards the downside.
And then maybe that might require a move for Devers.
Yeah, for 100% it would.
Unless he's playing second base, that would require a move for Devers off at third.
And then Max Fried, who we've brought up from the Braves, is number 6 on this list. Anthony Santander.
Right.
Although there'd be some good marketing stuff there.
That would be great. If I hit Anthony Santander and like Teoscar Hernandez, that level of free agent,
Correct.
Those are nice players and useful players, but you're not getting big ticket guys. Like, it sounds like there were 6 big ticket guys the way they have it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you like Bregman more than I do.
I
so
like
maybe
Alonso. I'd throw Alonso in there too. That feels like a big ticket guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Kikuchi was 20th. He's already signed too.
It drops off. It drops off real quick. To your point, it drops off real quick.
Tyler O'Neill is number 22.
Yeah,
you just had him. Who's good? Like when he was healthy,
they're
good.
good at finding the
right-handed stick for 1 year. The Adam Duvall, the
250, 25 home run right fielder who switches teams once a year. They're good at finding that guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like just in free agency alone, if it's not Corbin Burns, Juan Soto, it's gonna be a tough sell. It's like a big success.
Yes.
Right, like,
especially when you're talking about not just signing Soto, but Soto and Burns.
That's what you're saying.
That's
and you're
getting
getting
a tough sell.
The hopes are up.
So this is part of why we're bitching and complaining about Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Let me see the full thing, I guess. But in the meantime, I don't like the Chapman signing, and I don't like what I think it signifies.
So if they end up with Max Fried and Alex Bregman, I'll probably talk myself into maybe playoffs.
I'll talk myself into that big time.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a big difference between like Juan Soto, Logan Gilbert in a trade, and this.
Oh, for sure.
So